If you guys have been watching this build or first time to the channel, I'm all about teaching you guys some stuff and helping you save some money, okay? The jambs of the Crown Vic are done, and now I always paint jambs first, and then I'll tape them up, and then the body's ready to be painted except for a few more things. I'm pulling the trunk lid off and the hood off, and I'll be painting those off the car because I want to flip them, and I have to jam the underneath of the hood and underneath the trunk. I'm changing the color of the car. All right, but I want to save you some money on materials too. Now, if you use a normal paint gun, let's just pull one of my flicky flickies on you. I'm going to show you. This is a normal size paint gun. Now, see the difference in the cup size? All right, I'm going to tell you what that is. That's called a detail gun or a mini gun. And this gun is a cheap gun. It's Harbor Freight. I think they're 39 bucks. Could be even $29. I don't know, with a coupon, you never know. I've had this for a few years. It's got a 0.8 tip. Now, the base gun I showed you over there has a 1.4. My clear guns are 1.3. So you know this is a very fine tip, and it's a smaller cup. So when you're painting, like say you're at your house and you want to paint a motorcycle tank, a motorcycle frame, or anything that's smaller, even these door jambs, because using a bigger gun, I used a little bit of it in the jambs on the big areas, but it was hard to use a big gun to get in those tight access areas. So I pulled out this gun, and that's what I cleared them with, and finished getting a lot of the hard spots to get in. I use a small gun, right? All the twisting and turning and contortioning I had to do. Now, what I use, let me show you some here. Since it's a smaller tip gun, it doesn't matter what paint line it is, but this paint line I use, it's $30 a quart. It's sold by Clark's Wholesale Paint. They're online. And this is their tolerance. This is the Fighter Jet Gray. This is the color used on Mark 1s, and on the new F-150s, it's called Cactus Gray. It's the same color, but on the trucks, they call it Cactus. On the Mark 1s, it's Fighter Jet Gray. But if you look up the mixing ratios, 1:1 for normal, or 2:1 for better hide. So it's 1 part paint to 1 part urethane, so reducer. And like this one is 2 parts paint to 1 part reducer. In this mini gun, you want to mix it 1:1, so it's thinner. It'll cover very well, so you got your base covered there. Now, here's your other problem. You got to shoot clear. This is the clear I use. It's the U-Pole System 24:1. That's what I use on jams, underneath the hoods, spot panel repairs. I use that. On the Mustang that we did, the black one, the old GT, use this to repair the quarter panel and to paint both bumpers. Now, on this car here, what we're going to use is they have a 2:1. The clear is thicker. Some guys complain about this clear because it's thin and they run it. That's because a lot of times they're spraying on their first coat too wet, and then they're coming back too fast before that first coat gets tacky, sticky, and then they come back with a second coat, and then it will run. Any clear will run on you if you push it too hard. This one here, I found how to use it. So on a motorcycle tank or something small, using a smaller gun, this is the clear you want, 4:1. And it's got European resins in it, and it is UV resistant. My Mustang hood and front end on the first Mustang I did over here, it's 3 years old and still looks like it was shot yesterday, all right? Now, this is called a System 20. This primer goes with the same hardener as they use in the clear. This is a 4:1 high build. You're not going to shoot it through that gun, all right? But I use this also because if you go to the technical data sheet, this can be reduced, tired today, down to a sealer, which I used in those door jambs. And it's reduced 4 to 1 part and then 2 parts reducer. You're adding reducer to it. And it thins it down enough to where this will shoot it out just fine. All right. So that's the advantage of a minigun, and these are like 29 bucks, like I said, at Harbor Freight. I just suggest you add it to your arsenal, or it's the first time painting something that you want to paint that's smaller, like I said, motorcycle tank or frame, or you're touching up something, like say if I was only blending in something like this, I could use that. And the greatest thing about these guns, or any minigun, any manufacturer that you got already, is you're going to use, honestly, over half the material, because you're not mixing up large quantities for another cup and you're unsure. I use these really small mixing cups. See, there's a normal size mixing cup right here. I'll put them up here so you can see them a little better. And they sell these at the paint supply, look, see? So I use this one. I mix up small amounts, fills in here, you wouldn't believe. Like if I went, I was mixing up some clear, and I used, oh well, I can't even hardly see. I used the 2 to 2 level on there, and it filled up this gun up to here. So you see, I mixed up such a small portion. Instead of trying to squeeze it out of a big cup and try to look at that little number, get the very, very bottom of that, it was simpler to use a smaller cup. Just trying to save you money on materials. It goes a long way, all right? So I won't use this gun when I jam the underneath the hood and underneath the trunk. I'll use a normal size gun because this is a large area. Just the same volume that's on the top here, you flip it over, it's the same amount there, right? So I want to use a bigger gun there, right? And I'll just put 2 coats of clear underneath that base, 2 to 3 coats of base, and then 2 coats of clear underneath the hood, and it's good in the back. So that's what we'll be doing. Oh, and I'll be using the minigun on the wheels, because I'm painting the wheels the same color as I'm painting the car. And then I'm gonna have either powder coat the center cap or take it off and see if I can actually prime it and paint it and buy black trim rings. I think that'll offset the car really nice. So hopefully I saved you some money and I didn't bore you to freaking death. I'm all about showing you some stuff and how to save money. God bless you. See you in the next one. I got an ice storm going on outside right now.